They all go to YouTube.
No, but
What?
the TV station.
Okay, here, so don't talk into the headset. Hold on. Okay. So Charlie, just somebody have it up on their phone. It's loading. Is it your Wi-Fi or?
Here, I have it up.
Okay.
I have it up too.
This is a test of JumboCast men's soccer's podcast.
You shouldn't be able to hear anything go with Charlie. Here, so don't talk into the headset. Oh. Which one am I? Green?
It's really big.
Somebody have it up on their phone.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bellow Field, home of the Tufts University Jumbos, for our Friday night light soccer game between the Tufts University Jumbos and the Brandeis Judges. My name is Lucas Johnson, and I'm joined alongside by Charlie Driver. Both of these teams coming in hot, both nationally ranked in Division III soccer, and we've seen these two teams compete in the NCAA tournament last year, both making it very far, with the Judges making it to the Final Four and the Tufts University Jumbos winning the Division III Men's Soccer National Championship. Charlie, what's the keys of the game today for both sides?
I think the key for the game, the key to the game for the Jumbos is just how can you take advantage of the increased amount of space that you can get against a team that is pretty much level with you. The Jumbos always come into games with the way the schedule works in Division III, playing a team that's weaker than them. And you see that in their troubles. They've had 2 consecutive overtime games, and that's a result of teams sitting back and the Jumbos not being able to break them down. That's going to be different tonight, and I hope that we can see a nice open game where the Jumbos can take advantage of that. As for the Judges, I think it's just, can you break down the Jumbos' defense? The Jumbos' defense is one of their strong suits. They've allowed no goals so far this season, winning 1-0, 1-0, 4-0, 0-0, and a 0-0 draw to Call, and then a 2-0 win. So can you score against the Jumbos? Because you can't win if you can't score.
That's right. The Jumbos have struggled to score goals here at home, with a few of their games going to overtime. Thankfully for them, they've been able to find the net at some point in all but one of them, in which it ended in 0-0 draw. Teams are getting ready to take the field here. In net for the Jumbos is going to be Bruce Johnson today. He's going to get the start over Connor Meath. And for the Judges, it's going to be number 1 Ben Woodhouse from Suffield, Connecticut.
And that's a big thing for the Jumbos. The Jumbos losing their star goalkeeper last season. Generally the entire Jumbos team lost a lot of players. We saw their captains all disappear, as the nature of the captaincy is, but Kevin Lawson's going to be a big miss in the attacking midfield role. In the holding midfield role, Zach Halliday will be sorely missed. You're going to miss both of your strikers. Gaston Bescherano graduated, as did Nathan Majumder. So this is a Jumbos team that now has to lean on its youth, and its youth is now 1 year older and hopefully 1 year better.
That's right. And you can't forget Daniel Sullivan. He was a big anchor in that defense that they lost as well.
As for the Judges, as you said, coming in very strong, led by their senior offensive player, Patrick Flahive, forward from Chatham, Illinois. He scored 2 of the 3 goals as Brandeis won its 5th game in a row. That was against Massachusetts Maritime on Tuesday. So he's hoping to get on the score sheet here and draw first blood against the Jumbos defense in this early season. And another thing I would point out right as we get ready for the first whistle is how the field plays. We've had some rain. It could be a little slick. Fast ball movement. It's already fast on turf, but it could be faster here.
That's right. Forecast called for rain earlier, but the rain's holding off for now. Quick opportunity for the Jumbos here, cleared out of the way by number 24 Joshua Handler of the Judges. Judges win the ball at midfield, up ahead. Mike Lynch with it. Tyler Kulsar went for the tackle, couldn't make the play. Up ahead now. Off the head of Connor Coleman, number 33 Mike Lynch gets it back. Scramble for the ball. Tyler Kulsar gets ahead on it. Jackson Nahar boots it up ahead. Far side for the Judges now, working it towards the middle. Good ball
nice
movement.
1-2 passing there from the Judges, but the Jumbos are going to get that back.
Gavin Tasker wins the ball for the Jumbos.
Tasker was a huge player last year as a freshman. Now as a sophomore playing from that left side. Really likes to cut in, take a shot, and he's already scored 2 goals this season, so that's a testament to his offensive new.
Well, Tasker has a lot of speed. He's also on the track team here for Tufts.
Couple of 2-sport athletes. Christian Zazali, as that shot's off the target for the Jumbos. Christian Zazali on the baseball team, second baseman.
That's right. Weatherby took the rip there. Went out of bounds. This will be a goal kick.
Sterling Weatherby, a star in the French classroom as well as on the field.
We must remember that these are student athletes after all, not just the athletes that you see out here.
We have had a class with tons of these people. Ball
up in the air. Jack Delaney heads it over to Zach Lane. Delaney tries to pass it back to Lane, but it's won by the judges. Up ahead to number 9, Patrick Flayhive.
Not the sort of control that Flayhive would have wanted. It came to him, wasn't really expecting it, and gave it back over to the Jumbos.
And easy for Bruce Johnson to handle. He'll boot it out of danger. Up ahead, Joe Braun looks to get a hand on it. Flag is up for offsides. Little early there by Brett Rojas.
Yeah, Brett Rojas is that sort of player, though, Lucas. We saw a lot last season that he was very much in the thick of it with fouls. He would get offsides a lot. He would get a lot of cards. He was very raw, but he scored a lot of goals and had a lot of strong physical play for this Jumbo side. As you see there, almost fouling number 8, Christian Hernandez, the senior for the judges.
Hernandez able to play through. No call by the ref. And kicked out of bounds. It's going to be Jumbo ball.
And you love to see that sort of refereeing, Lucas. I think no one would really like that being sent back on the throw in there.
That's right. Especially a competitive game between two teams like this, you want the guys to be able to play on in these situations. Far side, this is Zach Lane looking to put a ball in, and he does just that, but way too far for any of his
teammates. He tried to put the ball into the penalty box, but he found it into the net.
And it looks like a judge must have got a foot on that. It's going to be a Jumbo corner here. I can't hear. Playing it short.
Yeah, just a little bit of miscommunication there. Tried for the short pass. Player thought they were going for a cross. Couldn't get an eye on who that was because it's sort of dark over in that corner of the field, but not the sort of communication that the Jumbos are known for.
Tasker trying to run it down. It's going to be forced out of bounds for a Jumbo throw along the sideline.
And you can see his speed there. Cranked it into another gear. That's those track skills showing up. It's a long throw by Sterling Weatherby.
Over to Tasker on the left side here. Tasker's kick. He wants a hand.
I think that's a good call, Lucas. Handler, as is his name, got a hand to it, but that ball was just coming too fast, and his arm was in a natural position. So I think no call is the correct call from that position in the field.
It's going to lead to another Tufts corner.
Yeah, aside from that sustained period of possession right at the beginning of this game, it's been all Jumbos in the Brandeis part of the field.
Jumbos keep it short with the ball, and Joe Braun gets his head on it, but can't get it on goal. It's going to go out.
That was a nice idea from Braun. The header into the ground is often a good way of unsettling the goalkeeper, but he was just a little far out. You want to do that from inside the 6-yard box, not 6 yards outside of it.
That's right. No Jumbos were there to clean up the scraps.
And it should be said, it's good defense for the judges, too. They had bodies around there, so that ball was not making its way through off of Braun's head.
Kick comes in far post. Braun gets a head on it again. Into the hands of the keeper. It got knocked loose by, it looks like that's Jackson Nahar.
Yeah, it's another good call there, Lucas. It's just a little bit too physical there. Goalkeeper was up, he was defenseless. Woodhouse going for the ball, and Nadger didn't get any of the ball there, just all into Woodhouse's body.
Up ahead, it's Brandeis. Unable to get a head on it. It's Connor Coleman for Tufts. Tasker's taken up the far right side. Tasker being harassed by Josh Osell. Just wide. Judges getting some good looks now.
Yeah, really nice play from the judges there. Took advantage of Kevin Tasker losing the ball in a bad position on that left side of the field and got it over. Player did a nice job of getting open for a shot, and it was just inches wide of Bruce Johnson's post.
The first real opportunity for the judges. It's been all Tufts when one of the teams can maintain possession. As you said earlier, it's been a lot of back and forth play between the two. Neither team able to string along a lot of consecutive passes. Little physical play right there by Brett Rojas.
Yeah, not sure. Rojas was a little annoyed there at what he perceived as a push, which got called, but the Brandeis players played on anyway, and Rojas can't really just get revenge like that. But he tried anyway, and he's lucky here to, I think, escape without a booking. But he's going to have to shake hands with the guilty party.
That's Josh Osell.
Yeah, Osell, senior from North Attleboro, Massachusetts, played a big part in the Final Four appearance for the Judges last year. They didn't play Tufts in the Final Four, and they were ousted in that round. The Jumbos, as they've done in 2 of the last 3 years, though, won the national championship. So Josh Shapiro, once again, very happy.
And Joe Braun got a foot on it. Nice ball from Zach Lane. It went just past the right post.
Yeah, I just don't think it had enough power on it. Woodhouse had that post covered and didn't even need to get a hand to it. So not the greatest threat from the Jumbos, but it's still a positive for them.
Well, you've seen Joe Braun get involved a lot today. He got the starting nod from Coach Shapiro. He's had a couple opportunities of a header on some corners, and now we're seeing him get another good look on that possession right there. Far side, Brandeis wins possession of the ball. Tyler Kulsar forces it out of bounds, but it's going to be a Brandeis throw. Up ahead to no one in particular.
Yeah, it was a strong idea there, trying to get the fast throw and catch the Jumbos unaware, but didn't really work out as intended.
Nice work there by Matt Zinner, able to body off the attacker, allowing for Bruce Johnson to just stay put, and he'll take this goal kick right now.
Matt Zinner won the starting right back job about halfway through the season. Jumbos had a gap in that position, and he was sort of trading some time there with a few other players, but in the end he emerged victorious. He's not really the most offensive fullback, but he really gets the job done defensively, as you see there with that header.
Andrew Allen tried to win possession, could not do so. Osell far side now for the Judges, out of bounds off of Tufts. We're seeing some more consistent passing from both sides now. The first 5 minutes, both teams are just trying to get their nerves out of them, but now each side's able to string together a few passes. Zach Lane knocks that one out. Dylan Hennessy will throw it in for the Judges. Back to Hennessy, up ahead now. Osell, big body.
Yeah, that's right into the back. You can't do that. Easy foul there, and a nice position now for the Brandeis Judges. This is a good location to just curve it a ball and get it into, the so-called corridor of uncertainty between the Jumbos defensive line and the goalkeeper. So you'll see the Judges try and do that here.
Whips the ball in, right into the hands of Bruce Johnson. No real danger there.
Yeah, just a little too much power there. Right idea, but don't want to kick it right at Bruce Johnson. That was definitely not a shot. But that's the sort of result that we saw.
Johnson will throw it out. This is Connor Coleman, one of the captains of this team. Coleman's pass, not a good one at all. Right to the feet of Noah Gans. Braun passes it right to Josh Osell. Osell up ahead now. Patrick Flayhive with it. Flayhive will play it back to his defense.
Flayhive's been a strong contributor to this Brandeis Judges team for over 3 seasons now. I saw him back in 2015, and he was starting then for the Judges, but now he's moved into an even more impressive role, playing as the number 9, playing in the center, and he's really showing that he has the feet for that position.
Hey, he's a veteran and you're a veteran.
First game I did, Brandeis Judges defeated the Jumbos over at Craftfield on the other side, across the Medford-Somerville border. That was 1-0.
Mike Lynch's pass finds the feet of Matt Zinner, who boots it out. Judges will get a throw far side.
Last 2 games have been very strong for the Judges. They've won by a combined score of 9-0. But they're facing a much tougher competition here compared to Elms and Massachusetts Maritime. The Jumbos are a Division III powerhouse, and then some.
Well, only one team can truly end the season with a win, and that team was Tufts last year, so that's quite the indicating sign right there of what kind of team Tufts is. As you said, a lot of seniors graduated, but Coach Shapiro expects a lot of his his sophomores this year and his juniors this year to step up, as well as the few seniors on this team.
And even the freshmen.
That's right.
You see, Josh Shapiro does not shy away from including freshmen in his team. Gavin Tasker got a ton of game time last year, as did Zach Lane. And it's really helps to develop them if they can play from the start. And you've seen the development in the sort of results that those two players have been getting.
We have seen a freshman, Travis Van Brewer, get a lot of game action this year. Calvin Arrow has also been a big contributing force on this team. Max Jacobs had some good looks last game.
It's important to plug them in because team depth is one of the most important things here. It's not a 3-substitute system here in Division 3, so you need to have a deep bench.
That's right.
As Weatherby kind of tries to head in and gets his back.
Flayhive with it. Poor touch, but it winds up at the feet of Andrew Allen. Allen puts the ball in, but right at Bruce Johnson.
Yeah, nice idea there, trying to find number 23, Steven DiPietro, but the chip was just a little much, and DiPietro is not the biggest guy and couldn't get his physicality around the titanic Jumbo's defense.
Sky high ball from Bruce Johnson, intended for Zach Lane, but it's going to go out.
Jumbo's back line is well over 6 feet. Right now we have the partnership of Coleman and Nadger. Nadger is 6'7". Coleman is not quite that, but he's close. And so that's a real trouble for any sort of diminutive player to beat physically.
Zinner throws the ball in for Zach Lane. Lane, poor touch. Up ahead along the far side. That's too far, looking for Joe Braun.
So it actually turned into quite a nice conditions here for a game. There's a bit of wind, granted, which is blowing from the left over to the right, but it's dried out quite a lot, and I think this turf's got a good drainage system.
Josh Russell hits the deck, no call. Joshua Handler now with a nice little flick. Tasker gets ahead on it, up ahead, clears it out of danger. Brandeis has to retreat. Joe Braun looking to push. And Braun is whistled for a foul. He doesn't like it.
Sometimes it's just too easy to push over these players if you're 6'6", 6'7", like Joseph Braun is. That was much too physical for that to play on, and Handler will get a deserved free kick here.
DiPieto's going to get a kick here.
Correct. Handler number 24, number 23. It's only one difference.
Up ahead too far for Andrew Allen. Bruce Johnson able to handle that without much of a threat.
Surprised by that. Wasn't actually expecting it to actually come even close to Allen, but
it was a very nice ball.
Yeah, nice accuracy there on the ball, and just a tiny bit too far. Better accuracy than on that kick from
little knuckler from Bruce Johnson. Don't think that was intended. Up ahead now looking for Joe Braun. Rojas gets ahead on it. He hits the deck.
It was a nice defensive header by DiPietro on the move, craning his head.
Coleman looking for Braun again. I've seen a lot of targets at Joe Braun given his stature.
Yeah, you just have to look at the matchup. DiPietro is not the tallest player, especially not for a center back.
Good interception by Josh Handler. Looking far side now. Brandeis with a nice touch, but a little too hard. Up ahead, this is Zach Lane for Tufts.
And the tempo is just increased tenfold here in this little spell.
Tasker working on Handler. Tasker able to get around his man.
There's that inside cut that I was talking about earlier.
Far side. This is Zinner. Well, right idea if a man was there. Unfortunately, Tasker could not find anyone, and it's going to go out.
Yeah, you can't really get a 1-2 if the first passer doesn't follow through.
That's right. Well, for as much pressure as Tufts has put on the Brandeis defense, Ben Woodhouse really hasn't had to work too hard. A couple of shots have gone just to the right or left of the post, but no real shots on goal yet for the Jumbos.
Yeah, and you have to say, Noah Ganz's shot was perhaps the best opportunity of this game. It was closer and more powerful than anything the Jumbos have been able to get on to the Brandeis goal so far.
Movement for Brandeis.
This is Flayhive
for the shot. Nice save by Bruce Johnson.
Really nice there. Patrick Flayhive gets into some space, takes a rip at Bruce Johnson's goal, but Johnson really was in a nice position off his line and just had to dive a little to the right to stop that. But the judges having a better go of it when it comes to taking shots and getting opportunities.
And I think it's safe to say that is now the best opportunity of the game for either team.
I would have to agree with that.
Josh Osel is going to take the corner for Brandeis. Low ball in. Weatherby gets a foot on it.
Yeah, that was definitely not the type of ball that Osel was looking for. Just underpowered, didn't even clear the first Jumbo's defender, and really easily dealt with by the Tufts defense.
Dylan Hennessy to throw it in. Plays it short. This is
interesting
Gans.
test here for the judges. Can they keep possession in the Jumbo's defensive half?
Good move by Hennessy. Lands right at the feet of Connor Coleman. He'll boot it out. This is going to be another corner for the judges.
Coleman did well there. He was a little two-footed, or wrong-footed, I should say, and slightly awkward with the clearance, but he managed to get it out for a corner rather than back to the feet of a Brandeis defender.
I believe this will be Josh Osel again to take the corner. Osel gets a better ball, and this time punched out of there by Johnson. And booted up in the air by Zinner.
Nice job by Johnson to use his physicality and get out there and punch that away. That was a much better delivery from Osel, and could have been dangerous if Johnson wasn't there.
Finson heads it back to his keeper. Judges in control in their half of the field. Lynch with it, looking to center it.
Awkward to control there by Flayhive. That's a really hard ball. You're running perpendicular to it, and you have to try and deaden it immediately, and he just couldn't do that there.
Zach Lane trying to win it for Tufts. It's going to go out and be a jumbo throw.
And we're about 20 minutes in, Lucas, so I think it's a good time to tease the fact that it's not just us who are going to be
That's right.
with you for commentary today. We've got some new JumboCast members, and they're going to be training starting at the 30th minute and then through to the 60th. We've got two of them, and I think it'll be very exciting. And we're also going to do a halftime show, isn't that right?
That's right. Well, of course, just as these two teams lose some of their veteran senior members to graduation and the real world, as do we as a club. So,
Are you saying that this isn't the real world, Lucas?
well, I'd like to think not, at least. Not yet. We still have a little bit of time before the real world hits us. This is Coleman with it. Up ahead looking for Braun. Braun, physical battle there.
Yeah, and you can see it there. Braun's got the physicality, but one thing that he was missing last season was the technique. His hold-up play was lacking because he couldn't get the ball down at his feet and back to a teammate. He could get the ball into his body. That's not that hard. But he couldn't then direct it anywhere else. And that's something that I'm really looking for from him now that he's playing as a starting striker. And here he is now. Excuse me, that's Rojas.
Nice touch by Rojas. Up ahead, this is Joe Braun looking to run it down. Braun able to keep it in, looking for support, whips the ball in, too far for Rojas, but right at the feet of Tasker. Tasker with a shot, rebound, still loose. Rojas pushes that out front and cleared by the judges. What a great opportunity for Tufts, and now the judges looking to counter. Flayhive with it, he needs support though. Plays it back, this is Mike Lynch. Lynch up along the right side. Beautiful ball for Andrew Allen. Allen with a shot. Winds up at the feet of Lynch. Lynch will rip, and he'll soar that one way too far left.
Yeah, Lynch tried to curve that into the left side of Johnson's goal, but really got his foot on the wrong half of that ball. Going back now, Lucas, to that to the Jumbo's shot and then attempted possession in the penalty box. Tasker with a great shot there, nicely parried away by Woodhouse. And he got a nice pass out to Rojas, but it was just a little bit too far for Brett to pull that into possession. And yeah, that's unfortunate for the Jumbos because that was a really, really good opportunity for a goal.
And that's been a big emphasis so far this season for Coach Josh Shapiro is the Jumbos will get a lot of these opportunities, but they need to finish them. And we've seen them struggle to do so. As a result, they've had to go into overtime.
Yeah, that's the 0-0 two overtime draw against Connecticut College was a product of that, and that's something we saw all of last season. The Jumbos have trouble finishing off opportunities. This is a team that could score 10 goals every game if they were really clinical with a lot of their finishing. But that's just not been the case, and that's something that's going to need to improve for them to be able to win the NESCAC Championship, which is something they've been unable to do in previous seasons.
We're going to have our first substitution of the game here. Off for Brandeis is going to be Andrew Allen.
That looks like Max Breiter, I think, coming into the game. Number 26.
Throw intended for Flayhive. This is Kulsar for Tufts now.
Yeah, and he's going to come into a left-sided position for this judges team in the attacking midfield.
Osel with it. Osel takes a rip that deflects off of Coleman. It's going to be a Brandeis corner. So we've seen Brandeis take a lot of long shots, and as a result, they've been getting a lot of corners. Just need to convert one of them.
And we saw their best corner delivery on the last corner that they have, the one that was punched away by Bruce Johnson. So now going down to it is number 6, Dylan Hennessy. And he's going to try and... I seem to be in the way by leaving over. So...
Hennessy's ball, way too far.
Maybe a bit of rust. That's his first corner in the game from that side, but
not what he intended for.
Yeah, you don't want that to go all the way to the sideline.
Jumbos will take that.
Look on the bright side. At least it didn't hit the first defender and then go.
That's right.
For a throw in.
Zinner's throw for Rojas flicked on for nobody in particular. Braun's in that scrabble for the ball. It's gonna be Brandeis' ball going out.
Looks like we're going to have a jumbo sub in a minute, too. Maybe a triple substitution. Shapiro looks to be readying.
Another substitution for Brandeis as well. Off for Brandeis is going to be Christian Hernandez. Coming onto the game is number 2, Josh Berg.
Berg, a senior from Weymouth, Massachusetts. One of the experienced judges on this team.
And the tough substitutions will have to wait.
A little too many calisthenics there for the Jumbos, so they'll have to go to the next stoppage.
Up ahead, Joe Braun tried to make a play on the ball but could not. Brandeis wins it back. Hennessy's pass. Hennessy gets it back, looking for help. Lane wins it for Tufts. Kulsar's pass up ahead, Joe Braun with it. Braun looking for help. Trying to get it through to Tasker. Tasker's able to run that down. Tasker looking for support. He had Rojas in the box, didn't see him. Tasker now with it. Defense! Tasker gives it Jack Delaney. Could not quite get a good foot on that. And Brandeis is able to clear it out. It stays in. It stays in. The scores table is ready to make substitutions for Tufts. Instead, this is Lynch coming up for Brandeis. And it's Jackson Nahar to clear it. That ball had some crazy spin on it. Everybody expected it to go out. We heard the buzzer. For tough substitutions to come in, but Weatherby just looked at it and said it's in play, I'm going to take it.
And as old soccer traditions go, we're not going to see a substitution until after this set piece. Don't really want to bring in players and mess up the rhythm of a corner, so we'll see the triple substitution for the Jumbos at the next stoppage in play, and we'll see if Hennessy can develop his approach here and maybe
see if he learned from last time. It's a much better ball, and Johnson gets a fist to it. Cleared out of there by, I believe that was Rojas. Brandeis still has it. DiPieto's ball goes back. This is number 16, Sam Vinson.
That was almost a dangerous misplay from Johnson. I think he should have caught that, but he was a little surprised at how quickly that ball got to him and parried it away.
Hennessy with a nice ball, but just a little too far. Bruce Johnson able to handle it.
That's a nice ball from the judges, as you said, and even nicer play from Bruce Johnson. He recognized exactly where that ball was going to go, straight off of the boot, and was there to collect it really easily. That's the experience of a senior, even though he's not played all that many games for the Jumbos.
As you said earlier, Scott Greenwood got much of the keeper duties last year, but when Greenwood needed a break, it was Bruce Johnson to typically take over. Brandeis with a nice little attack here. Too far over the bar, and Johnson.
That was a substitute, Max Brider, and maybe a little rusty from the bench because way too much power in that. Leaned back a little much, and it just skied into the netting behind the goal.
Subs for Tufts, Braun, Delaney, and Rojas come off. It looks like Eichhorst, Holiday, and one other Jumbo came on. I'm sure we'll be able to pick them out soon.
Eichhorst had a nice scoring touch from the midfield last year as a junior. Now a senior, he'll look to get up into that box and try and get the last touch on the ball before it goes into the net.
Tasker looking to center it, but he had no help there. 3 judges collapsed onto him. DiPieto with it now. Sends it left for Vincent. Vincent with a bit of a risky pass, but the judge is able to control. And poor pass winds up right at the feet of Nahar. I believe it's Travis Van Brewer, the freshman, is the third substitute for Tufts. As we mentioned earlier, he's been one of the freshmen who have had quite an impact on this team thus far.
Yeah, he's actually got 1 goal to his name for the Jumbos so far, so quite an impact in the score sheet as well.
So he's going to trickle back to Connor Coleman. Coleman looking at his options.
I think Coleman's one of those defenders who thinks himself a midfielder some of the time.
That's right.
Likes to play it out from the back.
Well, and Coleman does have a goal to his name this season, albeit a penalty that won one of the Jumbos overtime games. But he'll take it nonetheless, and as will the Jumbos.
A goal's a goal.
Brandeis with a good tackle there. That was number 5 Jake Warren on the ball. Up ahead now. Off of the head of number 17 Josh Osel, Weatherby with a booming kick.
It's a really nice run earlier from Handler to get the beating of Weatherby and Tasker on the side.
Ball's up in the air now. Josh Berg got ahead on it. Berg on the ground, able to push it forward.
Well, there's more reminiscent of breakdancing than soccer.
That's right. Jake Warren with it now on the right side. Warren looking for options. Osel gets a pass side course. Berg's shot went right into the hands of Johnson. No real danger there.
Yeah, tried to elevate that, but couldn't get it off the ground. And the only way that Johnson was going to miss that is if he was wrong-sided by one of his own defenders, and he had enough space there to see the ball coming for miles.
Flicked out. It's going to be a jumbo throw. Handler got his head on it.
Yeah, and we're about to see some substitutions, and 2 for the judges, 1 for the Jumbos here. Zinner coming off for the Jumbos.
It's number 24, Tanner Jameson coming on. And for Brandeis, number 9, Patrick Flayhive, and number 21, Noah Gans coming off.
They've been running a lot. They're going to be replaced by number 29, Evan Glass, and by the looks of it, I'm not sure who the other player is, but we'll get to the bottom of that mystery.
Coleman wins that header for Tufts. Coleman looking to body his defender. He kicks it out.
I think in the next stoppage of play, I'm going to sub out, and we're going to be joined by a new color commentator dipping his feet into JumboCast action. And he'll take you through to halftime, and I'll be back.
We'll be back, and then I'll take a quick timeout as we allow our other trainee to come on for the first 15 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, we're more senior commentators. We're entitled to, a little time off.
Coleman with it for Tufts, boot to the head, looking for Tasker and Holiday. Instead it winds up at Tanner Jameson. Beat it up near us.
Almost reached us, and I'm going to take that as my cue to leave.
And we welcome our new member to JumboCast. Why don't you state your name and where you're from?
Thank you. I'm Sam Lipsy from McLean, Virginia, right outside D.C. I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's good to have you with us, Sam. Ike Horse with it for Tufts. Out to Lane. Lane pushes up looking for Ike Horse. It's cleared out by Steven DiPietro. Van Brewer gives it to Kolsar for Tufts. Kolsar pushes up ahead. Brandeis gets a foot on it, and it's going to wind up in the hands of Ben Woodhouse.
Yeah, that's many more saves for the Brandeisian keeper than the Tufts keeper right now. As you can see, the Tufts team has significantly more possession in the first half.
And we've been told that we're having camera issues, so this is going to be a radio-style broadcast for the moment.
Nice.
So we'll try and fill you in as much as we can. We know it's hard. There's no visual. That one off the head of Jameson, thrown in for Brandeis. Brandeis in a dangerous position here. Handler with it. It's going to be a Brandeis throw.
And out of the stadium.
Handler's going to defer the throw to Josh Oso. Brandeis in the jumbo half of the field. Oso with a long throw near the box, flicked up and towards goal, but it lands safely at the hands of Bruce Johnson. Substitution now for Tufts. Coming off, it looks like Zach Lane coming on. That's number 14, Zach Trevorrow from Honolulu, Hawaii.
I don't know. No, we're not touching that. We're playing around with it. That's why. So we said the line was fun.
And we've gotten word that we are back. So I hope you enjoyed our short radio-style broadcast, but I think it's for the best that we give you a visual guide as well. Van Brewer with it for Tufts. Referee almost got in the way there, but Van Brewer trying to find Trevorrow, a little too much on it. Jumbo's still in control. Brandeis got a foot on it, but Trevorrow plays it off. This is Holiday. Sam Vincent able to control for Brandeis. Hennessy boots it up ahead now. Tasker wins it for Tufts. Gets bodied by Hennessy. And Sam Vincent plays it up ahead towards midfield. Brandeis in control with it here.
So if you look at the field,
And that's going to be a call for sure. Dexter Eichhorst just body slammed Josh Oso essentially. Not really sure what his intention was there. We've seen physical play, but that was a little over the top.
looked like some knee to knee, which can be pretty painful.
That's right. He'll feel that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Referee's going to keep the cards in his pocket, though.
Probably a good call, in my opinion.
And it looks like it's going to be Vincent to take it. Vincent with a long ball in. It's Tyler Costa to get a head on it. Still in danger. And a good slide tackle there by Tufts. It's going to be a Brandeis throw.
Corner, which from here we can't really tell.
I think it's just going to be a throw for Brandeis.
Ooh.
Far side, didn't quite get out for a corner. But in a dangerous position here.
Yeah.
See if he can throw it into the box. It's near post. It's loose. Got a shot off. Brandeis, this is number 5. Jake Warren got a good look at it. And right at Bruce Johnson goes Evan Glass's shot. That was a good opportunity for Brandeis. First Warren just unable to get a good head on it, and then Jake Warren from outside the box got a good foot on it and sent it with some power, but unfortunately he placed it right at Bruce Johnson's hands. Poor pass by Travis Van Brewer. Colin Panaro almost made a nice play on that ball, but just out of his reach. Tyler Kulsar now with Tufts. Up at Eichhorst. Eichhorst flicks it along for Trevorrow. And right into the hands of Ben Woodhouse. So some quick pace play here from both sides. We've seen the ball go from one side of the field to the other very quickly. Under the 10-minute mark in this first half.
Yeah, and as we see the Brandeis goalie punted up into the Tufts half, you can see the dangers that Tufts can face from when they play it out of the back. It has the added benefit of keeping possession, but also can lead to chances for the opposition if mistakes are made.
Van Brewer turns on. This is Trevorrow. Trevorrow took a rip, and he says, "My bad." It soared far left of the post.
Good opportunity nonetheless, getting down the left side.
Trevorrow's had some good looks this season. He scored a goal for the Jumbos as well. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, I guess.
Yep. Can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket.
That's right. Kulsar gets ahead on that Woodhouse kick. Ooh. Hennessy with a nice little display of skill there. Boots it up ahead, but no judges are in the area. Bruce Johnson will secure that one.
And on that bounce just there, you can see the effect that the rain earlier today had. It's a pretty skippy surface. The ball's moving fast, so the players really got to be careful with that as the ball's coming towards them, especially out of the air.
And we've experienced some high gusting winds the past few days here at Tufts University. Pretty windy right now. I'm sure that's affecting the goalies for sure on their kicks. We're still going to go against Brandeis.
I guess football's the big roster. Like,
Weather be to take.
there's like 10 out left.
And it looks like Tufts is going to try to put it into the box from here. The good ball can be a good opportunity to score.
Woodhouse went for it, lost it, but he's able to recover. Whether we put a lot of backspin on that ball. At first I thought it was going to soar way too far over the net, but it really died towards the end.
Yeah, and I think the wind we were just talking about has a lot to do with that. Hit it way up there, and the wind kind of pushed it back.
I'm not sure if you can hear that, but the Tufts fans, they think Brandeis is stalling a little bit. They're just counting down as Woodhouse was preparing to kick it. But nonetheless, he got his kickoff, and we have resumed play. Foul going to go against Brandeis.
Let's see if they make a better chance of this free kick.
Looks like Brandeis has a sub ready, but he won't come in just yet.
Almost an identical kick from the one they just had.
A little farther out.
And the wind is gusting in the wrong direction for Tufts.
Good ball in. It's still loose. Booted out of there by Handler. Tasker's going to retreat and grab it. It's being chased down by Brader. Woodhouse coming out to get it. Risky play there by Ben Woodhouse, but it pays off. We have a jumbo down. I'm not quite sure who that is, but the ref is going to stop play
I know, I was hoping one of my friends in Korea would
and send the medical staff out.
if he had, yeah, I totally would have. Like, I would say about doing it.
Well, Woodhouse came very far out on that ball, and he secured it.
Like, I can't really.
It's often dangerous to go in for contact with the keeper because when they come out for the ball, they put their knee up for the exact reason, as we see right here, just to deter players from coming at them.
I believe that might be Dexter Eichhorst, if I'm not mistaken, for Tufts. He's moving. He's on his back now. Well, we don't want to speculate. I thought I saw him holding his head, but as you said, when the keeper comes that far out, it could be a variety of things. And he's sitting up now. It is Dexter Eichhorst, but he is sitting up. And he's getting to his feet. He's going to be able to walk off under his own power, so that's a very good sign.
And God forbid anything happened to Eichhorst, but Tufts would really miss his presence. He played a huge role in the NCAA tournament last year, scoring the lone goal in the 1-0 win in the Sweet 16 here in Brandeis against UMass, or here at Tufts against UMass Boston.
He certainly is a veteran presence on this team, and he will come off to receive some medical attention for the time being. He's going to be replaced by number 12, Max Jacobs. As I alluded to earlier, Jacobs had some good opportunities in the last game Tufts played. Tufts will give it back to Brandeis. And Ben Woodhouse will kick this one off.
Yeah, we see again Brandeis electing to kind of put the ball into Tufts' half right away from the goalie, contrasting with Tufts' kind of slower build-up approach.
Kevin Holiday trying to get to Jacobs. Jacobs bodied out by DiPieto. And we're going to have another tough substitution. This is Tasker coming off the field. Tasker been running around quite a bit, going to get a breather.
Something interesting about subs at the D3 level is that since you can have unlimited subs, you can really slow the game down by making so many substitutions.
Exactly, why not? Brandeis clears that out of danger. Looking to make something of this opportunity. Up ahead now for number 26, Max Brader. Brader looking for support. He's on the left side. Needs bodies in the center. Brader whips a low ball in, but it's intercepted by Tyler Kulsar. And cleared out of bounds by the Jumbos. Approaching the 5-minute mark of the first half. Been a fairly even game to this point, as we expected coming in. And it's actually going to be a corner kick for the judges.
This is Brandeis' second or third corner from the left half of the field in recent memory. So
Max Jacobs going to run up into the box for Tufts, get an extra body in there. And the referee sees something he doesn't like. And it's going to be a goal kick, apparently. Not quite sure what that was all about, but nonetheless, we are ready to get back underway here. Connor Coleman telling his team to push up. Tufts looking for a late surge here in the first half, maybe get a goal across going into halftime. Brandeis with control of it. This is Tanner Jameson for Tufts. Pushes one up ahead for Holiday. Holiday just lost it. It was Berg able to win it for Brandeis. On the ground now, number 7, Colin Panara. Got pushed down, but no call. Connor Coleman now with it, and we're going to have a foul going against Brandeis, much to the displeasure of the Brandeis fans here. And Coleman was a little early on that one. Going to reset it. He's going to send it to the left for Jameson. Jameson gets by Panara. This is Trevor now. Trevor with a nice ball to Jameson, left corner. Poor pass by Jameson. Winds up right at Panara's feet. Van Brewer looking to win it for Tufts. It goes out. It's going to be a Tufts throw. Jameson for Van Brewer. Van Brewer along the left side. Van Brewer with a low ball in.
that's a great
This is a
ball.
beautiful ball. Jacobs could not quite find a body for Tufts, and it's out of danger, at least for the moment, for Brandeis. And Josh Berg kicks it up ahead for Brandeis. And now a little counterattack potentially for Brandeis.
Real clattering challenge over there.
So Max Breiter go right into the body of Nahar. But no call. Hennessy gets ahead on it. It's going to be Tufts ball. It's been a physical game for sure, but nothing over the top to this point. No cards have been issued. And that's the way it really should be. When two teams this competitive go at it, there's going to be a lot of physicality in this game.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Good to see the guys play.
Dirty.
Nice ball in. It's loose. Brandeis able to clear it for the moment.
Bicycle kick out of the back. I always like to see those.
Hennessy looking to run it down for Brandeis. But in the corner, it's Tufts. Try to get a ball into the box, but could not. And Woodhouse is going to have a goal kick. Under 2 minutes left now. Woodhouse's kick towards the center of the field. Holiday gets ahead on it. And foul against Tufts. This is Hennessy to take. Going to play it short for DiPieto. DiPieto off the backside of Travis Van Brewer. And that's certainly going to sting in the morning, but giving up his body for the team. I'm sure his teammates will respect that.
Hear that from the opposite side of campus.
That's right, that was loud. Joshua Handler is going to take this throw in for the judges. Handler looking for Colin Panara.
Both teams itching to get a goal in before the half to kind of swing the momentum their way.
Evan Glassley is off to Jake Warren.
And in the past 5 or so minutes, we've seen Brandeis kind of take control of the momentum, spending a lot more time in Tufts halves, whereas before, for the majority of the half, it was Tufts who had the ball.
Well, Berg just lost the ball there. Brandeis fans wanted to call. Much to their dismay, nothing was given. As the first half winds down, that will do it for the first 45 minutes of play. At the end of the first half, the score is 0-0. Pretty even game thus far.
Yeah, I agree.
And stay with us, we'll be back very shortly.
Below Field.
Shut up.
Sam,
Wait, we're muted?
I don't know.
All right, hello and welcome to the JumboCast halftime show. I'm Charlie Driver. You heard me for the first 30 minutes, and I'm here with two of our newest members. You guys want to introduce yourself? We met one of you already, but
Yeah, I'm Sam Lipsy. You heard me for the last 15 minutes for what might have been a long 15 minutes for the listeners at home.
And I'm the new guy. I'm Francis Simmons, and you'll be hearing me for the next 15 minutes after the halftime show.
yeah. So we like to always do an interview with our newest members on JumboCast, and so you guys want to tell us where you're from and what you're planning to study, if you know that.
Ooh. Sure, yeah, I'm from McLean, Virginia, right outside of D.C. I wish I knew what I wanted to study, but alas,
Humanities or STEM?
not humanities. We're going to go with removing an entire branch of study to start with.
That's the start.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate it.
I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I went to school in Western Mass for the past 4 years, though. And I think I'm going to do IR, subject to change, given this guy's breadth of interest. Maybe I'll develop it, but I think I'm pretty steadfast in IR.
It's a classic Tufts choice, after all.
Absolutely. I'm not doubling in econ, though.
Oh, true. But IR is enough. I'm a poli-sci major, so
Awesome.
a little bit of overlap. And what inspired both of you to join JumboCast?
Someone told me I could be Lee Jordan in Harry Potter, and so that was a big point of interest. But this is also fun.
You think you're on your way to that?
I mean, who knows? You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. It's a good place as any.
So exactly. Tough soccer versus Brandeis is always a great launching off point for entering the wizarding world. I've heard.
And I like to talk, so having an outlet to have my voice heard is always a fun one.
Yeah, we have a lot of big talkers here.
Yeah.
People have to listen to you.
Yep. Well, they don't have to.
They can mute it. They've muted it on me many times. I'm not sure. Let me try and bring you something that is at least passable. As long as you get the video, that's the key part.
Absolutely.
And okay, one final question, then I need to get our cameraman on because it's his first game too. All right, top favorite soccer commentators.
Who are the ones in FIFA?
Oh, the ones in FIFA. That's Martin Tyler and Andy Townsend.
Yeah. Then those are my go-to then.
All right.
So I have to say my buddy Sam here is my favorite by far.
Yes, thank you.
He knows the game so
Thank you.
well.
I think he really gets the essence of the game
and
really preserves the beauty.
it's a beautiful thing to watch. So
Thank you.
All right, great. Alec, you want to just mute it for a second, and we'll. All right, and second interview of the halftime show after you saw our sort of suboptimal changeover here. You want to introduce yourself to our viewing public?
Sure, I'm Thomas Rosolio. I'm a freshman from Washington, D.C., inside of Washington, D.C., not outside, and I'm planning on studying biomedical engineering.
Very nice, very nice. And he's been behind camera, bringing you the images from the first half. Apologies for the brief spell where we went without him. That's not your fault at all. But we tried to, again, we try and do as much as we can as amateurs here, and we're trying to bring you the game. So, why JumboCast?
Always been a big sports fan. I'm a Washington Capitals fan, and in DC, the DC metro area, the two Capitals commentators, Craig Laughlin and Joe Beninati, are kind of cult heroes, as I'm sure Sam will tell you from also being a Caps fan. So they've always been a part of my childhood, and I thought I'd try my hand at it here.
Were you one of the people who would always listen to the commentary duo and think, oh, that I wish I could do that?
I wish that I was them. I would, I know how they interact. I know what their little games are that they play on air, and I always thought that was kind of fun to watch.
For me, it's been Gary, Keith, and Ron for the Mets broadcasts.
Yep.
And so if you grow up with a good commentary team, you kind of see that as.
Exactly.
Also for me, I was never athletic enough to play the sports. I played baseball till I realized I was bad, and then I realized that talking about sports was probably the better option for someone of my physicality.
I played in high school. I was a 3-season athlete, so it's kind of a refreshing change to be on this side of the camera.
What sport?
I was a kicker in football. I played hockey, and I was midfield in lacrosse.
All right. Well, we're definitely going to get you on a lot of color games, especially for lacrosse. So
yeah, absolutely.
If you're still here,
we do have quite a good team after all.
Yeah. Last question. Do you have a favorite soccer commentator? Or?
I'm gonna go with the classic teenage boy Martin Tyler and Alan Smith.
Oh, okay, Alan Smith. Interesting. Yeah, they bounce around the commentators with Martin Tyler, but they're all good.
Yeah.
So that's it for the halftime show. It's about 7 minutes and 45 seconds until the second half. I'll be back, and we'll see Sam in action as well. And then, so that's it for us, and we'll join you in just a few minutes.
Hello, welcome back to Bellow Field. It's a tie game between Tufts and Brandeis, 0-0, and it's about to be the start of the second period. And I'm Francis Simmons, and we look like we're about to get right underway here. So.
Yeah, and I'm Charlie Driver, back again after we saw another trainee go. Sam did a great job, and now it's Francis's time to shine. You're going to be taking us through the play-by-play for this second half. And basically, what I thought from the first half is probably similar to what you thought, that it was a really balanced game. Each side had some pretty clear-cut chances, couldn't necessarily capitalize on those fully. But
took Brandeis a few minutes to get.
Yeah, I think there was a trend of Brandeis growing into the game and having more possession, and they're going to try and build on that here as we get underway with the second half.
Ball and Tufts attacking third.
This is a nice position for the Jumbos here. I'm interested to see whether they try and take a cross. Or just pass it short. I think either of those would probably work, but it's just a little far back for a really nice direct cross.
It appears that number 10, Brett Rojas, will be taking this one. It's a cross. Saved by the Brandeis keeper.
Yeah, Woodhouse saw it all the way, and Rojas had overhit that a little, so he had an easy job of just running out and punching it. Moved before anyone else, and there was no question that the goalkeeper was going to get his hands to that one.
Still in the attacking third.
It's a nice pass by Zimmer, and even nicer defending by Vincent to slide in there and just nick the ball out of play for a Jumbo's throw-in.
Brandeis with the throw-in. Tackle made by number 27, Matt Zinner. Ball out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be Tufts' ball. Throw it on the sideline.
Nice idea from Braun there, but execution was a bit lacking. As I was talking about earlier, that's just been the one part of his game that he needs to round up. And also, as a central player, playing out on the right wing can be a little bit of a culture shock at times.
Absolutely. A little bit of miscue on Brandeis' part. Tufts had the throw-in, and now Brandeis has recaptured possession.
And all the momentum that the judges had built over the course of that first half so far has just dissolved. It's been all Tufts. And part of that is just the fact that Brandeis has had to respond to an opening Tufts foray into their half by putting people back, and with numbers back, it's hard to have any meaningful possession.
Potentially a through ball. Pass completed.
It's by Rojas. He's going to shoot.
Oh, goal! Goal by number 10, Rojas. It's a Tufts goal. Score is 1-0.
That's Brett Rojas' first goal of the season, and it couldn't come at a nicer time for the Jumbos, breaking a scoreless tie.
And we knew it was bound to happen. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah, Rojas gets dispossessed after a nice little dribble, finds his way, his feet to the ball, takes a shot. I think it might have hit a deflection or had some awkward bounces because Woodhouse was a little wrong-footed, but it doesn't matter because it goes right into the back of the net, and just like that, Brett Rojas puts the Jumbos up 1-0.
And it's a well-deserved goal. The amount of time that Tufts has had the ball in the attack, especially even the start of this half, we knew it was coming.
Rojas had a few of those last season. Usually they were a little more spectacular in terms of trajectory, but a goal's a goal, and the Jumbos' lead is now 1-0.
Another miscue on Brandeis' part. It would be throw-in by Tufts.
And now the Brandeis' task just got even harder because they're playing a defense that, as I mentioned earlier in this game, hasn't conceded a goal yet this season. And physically, the Jumbos' defense has proved that they are an overmatch for a slightly smaller Brandeis side.
This will be a throw-in on the latter third.
It's going to be Sterling Weatherby taking the throw. The junior from Cape Elizabeth, Maine, and he's going to go for a long throw.
The header cleared away by Brandeis.
That long throw is just a little short. Nice idea by the Jumbos there with the attempted flick on, but couldn't really find anything there. That was Connor Coleman who got his head to it, but just not enough power to get it towards any dangerous position.
Tufts throw in broken up.
Foul by the Jumbos who just nicked in there. So Brandeis will get a chance to reset and start it up again.
Still, we haven't seen Brandeis really get it in an attacking third on their part, and we'll see if that's one here.
Yeah, it's credit.
Free kick will give them a
It's credit to the Jumbos. They've been breaking up play when Brandeis has been trying to take it over into the attacking half, and we'll see here if it can be any different. Yeah, you can see there. That's an example. Connor Coleman got in there, headed it away, so the Brandeis judges couldn't come down with it, and that's not going to get you anywhere closer to a goal. I think he was tripping a little there, and his golden cleats couldn't get the ball on target.
Be a corner kick though. It must have been a
Yeah, that would make sense given the flight of that ball. On the shot there, he needs to turn his back to us so I can actually make out that number. Yeah, that's number 14, Andrew Allen, the junior forward who took that shot, and now the Brandeis judges have a corner.
Looks like they have a player they can pass to if they desire, but they're going for the cross.
That was a really nice ball by the judges, and there was nothing that Johnson could do, but the one flaw of that was that it was too close to the goalkeeper. If it had gotten to any Brandeis head, I think you would have seen that going in the net.
Brandeis throw in. Throw into number 9, Patrick Flive.
That's a little bit of embellishment there, it looked like, from Joseph Braun, but he got the call on the foul. We were really close to that, and it looked like he played it up a little bit, but unfortunately part of the game.
Yeah, Madsen, a free kick now into play. Toss back again into the attacking third.
That's Rojas again, but he couldn't do with that what he did with his goal. Couldn't get that ball off of the ground, but really nice dribbling and control from Brett Rojas there.
A little too early.
Yeah, he probably had some space, could have found a teammate and gone into a nicer possession, but he's one of those people who will take it on and thinks he can score from any part of this pitch.
And we've seen that he can.
Maybe not from that far back, but I'm sure he could given the time.
Tufts recaptures possession and through pass. Heavily guarded.
And that's really nice play from Braun there, and a nice defensive header out of danger by number 23, Stephen DePieto, one of the 2 center backs for this Brandeis team.
Be a Tufts corner here.
Center backs coming up for the Jumbos. That's Connor Coleman and number 20, Jackson Nadger. Nadger replacing the departed Daniel Sullivan. We saw him a little bit last year.
They pass the corner and across.
Cries of handball, but I don't think there was anything in there. And that's nice hold-up play from Braun. That's what he needs to do the entire season.
I think Tufts been passing the ball pretty well in the second half. Brandeis retains possession.
Yeah, no worries there. Little different look for the Jumbos midfield, specifically in terms of fraternal aspects of it, because Kevin Hallett is playing without his graduated brother Zach, who was the midfield engine last season. As Zinner whips in across, and it almost finds Gavin Tasker on the left side. But Kevin Halliday now playing without his brother. They had been playing together for a good 3 years, and it was a nice run that resulted in 2 national championships, and now Kevin's going to try and take the Jumbos all the way on his own.
And I think he has big things in store. I think he's going to be really promising for the Jumbos this year.
Little miss kick there from Woodhouse. Not what you want to see in a situation where your team has been struggling trying to keep possession of the ball.
And that's not the first time we've seen that today either.
Part of that you can attribute probably, Francis, to the wind, but at the same time, if the wind's going to be that large of an issue, I wouldn't try kicking the ball that far. I'd try a more shorter pass as he does there, finding his fullback.
Midfield.
Not sure what that foul was, but the referee seems to have seen something I didn't. Oh, it looks like Lynch got caught a little there on the follow through after his kick.
Upfield.
And it looks like the judges are now switching to a system where they've given up attempts to hold any meaningful possession in their half, and they're just going to try and catch the Jumbos on the counter. Here's Lynch now. He's going to try and get that over to Flayhive, but it's over his head, and Weatherby's got that covered all day. And Johnson has it by extension.
Weird. Be a Brandeis throw-in.
Yeah, Johnson got a little out of his comfort zone there, and rather than try and control it and get it to one of his teammates, he just opted to put it out of play. But the way the judges have been playing, you can manage that at any time. Gabe Margot is probably thinking about making a substitution at this time. We'll wait to see one.
Cleared by the Tufts defense.
Wasn't a lot of movement in that penalty area on that corner kick. That cross, which is something that you don't want to see. Movement is how you're going to get momentum to be able to power that ball into the net and also evade all the Tufts defenders in the box.
We'll try it again.
Not much better there, and it'll wind up with a goal kick. And you can see as the players come away from that penalty area that there's a big size disparity there. This Jumbo's team is large for a soccer team. They don't have a lot of small dynamos on the wing like you see with players like Lynch on the judges. And what that leads to is that if you're trying to play in the air, you're not really going to get anywhere. You're not going to be able to win any headers, and you're not going to be able to get any headed goals that way. So we see a potential breakaway there. That was Joseph Braun trying to get to it, but Woodhouse dealt with it.
Tufts retains possession. The shot! Oh, broken up.
Yeah, really nice job by DiPietro getting over there. Braun had it trapped down, took a touch. If he had taken it first time, he might have gotten a better shot out of that, but he just took a little too much he had a little too much patience, and DiPietro ranged over from his position on the right side of that defensive two and just knocked the ball away. Corner now, or throw in, excuse me.
It appears to be headed away.
That's DiPietro again, very active.
Let's see if this one stays in play.
I have a good feeling about this one. The judges are ranked, I believe, 14th in the nation currently, according. It differs based on what poll you're looking at, but the
some polls they've been deemed 12th in the nation as well.
It's between 10th and 20th. The Jumbos in the top 5, national champions last year, as we have mentioned once and many times before, as judges win a free kick.
Free kick will take place in midfield, taken by number 17. Josh Osell.
Yeah, this is just a little far for Osell, and he'll cede it over to Vincent. Osell has 5 assists on the year, but he's going to be hard-pressed to find one from there, and Vincent's going to have a much easier job trying to transition this free kick into, well, actually, he's going to try. Bigger leg, bigger defensive player, but nice cross, but header really lacked a lot of control there. As we get into the 33rd minute, the 12th minute of this half, so the 57th minute of play, 33 minutes to go in regulation. And as it stands, the Jumbos are up 1-0. And if you're looking at your scoreboard and you see that it says Hamilton versus Tufts, that's just us trying to avoid accidentally messing up. It's just going to be like that. But rest assured, this is your Brandeis judges in possession right now.
Ball in the corner, Brandeis. Easy save for Bruce Johnson.
Yeah, the pass was near no one in particular, and try as they might, the judges couldn't get to that. Handler was going to be He's going to have a tough time. Excuse me, Noah Gans is going to have a tough time getting to that.
Tufts has the ball around midfield. Passing it around. Broken up by Brandeis.
It's an uncharacteristic poor play by the Jumbos there. Kulsar giving it away, the senior.
Cross in the middle.
Flayhive was caught in two minds there. That was a position where he could have taken the shot or tried to move it away. What he should have done was move it away, but he opted more for the shot, and it sort of deflected away awkwardly, and good opportunity goes begging there.
Bruce Johnson's punt is headed away, and the keeper, Brandeis, obtains it.
DiPietro ranging with it now. He's going to try a long ball, but Connor Coleman has it easily covered.
Headed back to Bruce Johnson there. I think Brandeis has done a slightly better job of keeping the ball and having a slightly better time of possession.
Yeah, it's definitely been a better spell, but they still haven't threatened scoring at all in this second half yet. And the Jumbos have threatened and have succeeded in scoring, which makes the onus really on the judges here to try and respond in some way.
Looks like there might be a judge player down, number 17, Josh Soussel, it appears.
That's going to be a big miss if he's going to be forced to come off this pitch, but I think he's going to be all right. It looks like he just got banged up a bit, and yeah, his teammates helping him up there.
No.
He's going to be fine.
Trying to shake it off a little bit.
We're going to see a few changes for the judges, and that'll come at the same time as we make our change, as Francis finishes up his 15 minutes of fame in his first JumboCast game. But you'll get to go ahead and call this free kick before you leave.
Absolutely. Taking a free kick in. Cleared by the Tufts defense. It was hard to see who exactly cleared it, but I am going to defer to my colleague here. Thank you so much for having me. It was a great time.
Another up to, that's Flayhive now tries to chip it through, but Johnson has it covered easily. And an almost chance for the judges there as Patrick Flayhive tried a little bit of ingenuity and tried to get a cross into his teammate Lynch, but Bruce Johnson and his big goalkeeping frame gets in the way and comes down with it. And welcome back, Lucas.
Yeah, with that, I'll sub myself back into the game. I'll be with Charlie here for the remainder of the game. So
we play slightly different rules in the commentary alcove compared to the players. As some of you know and some of you may not know, players can exit in this half and actually re-enter the game once, which is one of the quirks of NCAA Division III and one of the reasons that they're able to play so many games and play 2 games this weekend.
That's right. Gives the players a nice rest so they can come back in with relatively fresh legs, make an impact in the second half.
What did you think of the game in the meantime?
Well, Tufts managed to get on the board, which is very important for them. Obviously, with their struggles recently at home of having to, score goals, and they've really lacked in their ability to finish, and that's forced them to go into overtime. So, we've got a 1-0 lead. Their defense has been solid this season. Let's see if that'll be enough to take them to the finish line.
Yeah, it was a little nutmeg from Lane there, but it'll be slid out by the Brandeis defense, and we'll see the substitutions now. Triple for each team.
Looks like Van Brewer, Eichhorst, and Holiday coming in for Tufts. Going off looks like Braun. Can't quite make out who that is. Delaney, maybe.
For the judges, I saw Warren, Panera, and it looks like Max Breiter coming onto the field. I'm not sure who came off. I know Lynch came off. It looks like number 14, Andrew Allen, has come off, and I'll confirm the other one in a moment.
Zinner with a rip just over the crossbar.
That was a sort of interesting motion for Zinner. He sort of came across that ball, but didn't really work out. A little ingenuity, but not really the end game.
Trying to knuckle it downwards, but regardless, the result is a Ben Woodhouse goal kick.
Still goes down as a shot in the scorebook.
That's right. Brandeis with it. Osell up ahead now.
This is Jake Warren who came into this game.
Osell centers it now. Hernandez. Holiday running it down.
Van Brewer winds up with that, pokes it ahead. Eichhorst trying to run it down.
Yeah, just a little much there on that pass. It was a nice opportunity for the Jumbos. They had a nice counterattack going, but need to find the man there, not the defender.
Hernandez up ahead.
That's going to go out of bounds. Brighter isn't fast enough to run that down. I don't think anyone is.
Zinder to take the throw for Tufts here. Looking for Eichhorst. It's going to be intercepted by Hennessy. Tyler Kosar forces Jake Warren out of bounds.
I should mention that the wind has picked up here. You may be able to hear it through our microphones, but it's now blowing against our backs and across the field. It had been going from left to right, and now it's just going from front to back.
Still no rain there, so we'll take it for sure.
Yeah, worked out quite nicely. Although I should have probably worn a sweatshirt.
That's right. A little cold here. Hennessy up ahead. Zinner booted it ahead, but not before it went out of.
I don't know. That looked like he kept it into me. I don't know if that crossed the line completely, but either way, it's going to be a throw-in. That throw-in's taken by Dylan Hennessy.
Zach Lane with a nice interception of that ball there. Pushes up ahead, but unable to run it down is Holiday.
Zach Lane's played a season and a quarter for the Jumbos, and it seems like he's had 3 or 4 different haircuts during his time here, Lucas.
Finally managed to break through last game, scored his first collegiate goal.
His play is as stylish as his hair, it should be mentioned. You saw it with the nutmeg earlier, but he's one of the trickster type of wingers. He's about pace and he's about finesse, and he's going to build up a lot of assists over his career that way.
Well, and of course, last season during the NCAA tournament, he sported more of a mohawk-looking hairstyle. But personally, this is the Zach Lane that I know and love. This is the hairstyle that he should be rocking every day. You see a beautiful tackle.
It's nice hustle there.
Vincent's going to push it back to Woodhouse. Holiday's bringing the pressure, but Woodhouse will boot it out of there.
Zach Lane's been on the ball a ton recently, and he's barely put a foot wrong. Puts one slightly there, but could argue it's from his teammate.
There from DiPietro. Luckily for him, Jumbos weren't able to make much of it. And here comes Brandeis up along the far side.
It's a nice lunge there from Dexter Eichhorst to send that out of bounds. So we're going to see a few changes. It's Hernandez and Gans coming off for the judges. In comes Josh Berg, and also number 29, Evan Glass.
I believe that's Tanner Jamison in for the Jumbos now.
Replacing Weatherby, I would assume.
Johnson boots it up ahead. Brandeis gets a good head on it. One back by the Jumbos, though.
Nice idea. Not necessarily the sort of pass that you would want, though.
A lot of back and forth here between these two teams. It's going to go out for a jumbo throw. Quick throw in for the Jumbos, looking to push. Along the left side here. Splitting defenders, but Brandeis is going to be able to let that one run out.
Really nice defense from Handler there. Living up to his name and really getting the handle on his mark.
I believe that was Gavin Tasker with that run there.
Tasker had speed there, but he was just not in a great position. Handler was right next to him, on top of him, and there was nothing he could do to get away.
Again, for those who are joining late, it is 1-0 thanks to a Brett Rojas goal. About 23 minutes left to play. Zinder's kick deflects off of the shin of Jake Warren.
And Brandeis is going to have to do something different now if they're going to want to actually get a goal in this game. They've been fairly weak in offense. They had a few decent chances in this half, well, more of a half chances overall, as Lane comes off to be replaced by Honolulu native Zachary Trevorrow. But I would have to say that they're just going to need to be better on the counter. They've been extremely poor trying to counterattack, and Coach Margulis is going to have to change something.
Tasker giving Dylan Hennessy all kinds of problems. Eichhorst now passes it back to Coleman. A bit risky, but no real danger. Nice little pass from Zach Trevorrow. And a fight for the ball along the left side. And it's going to go out for a Ben Woodhouse goal kick.
Yeah, Colin Panera, really nice defense there for the sophomore from Belmar, New Jersey, showing why he got put into this game and maybe making a claim for a little more increased playing time down the line. And Trevorrow, again, one of the freshmen last year who made his mark on the team, more of a super sub style. Yeah, a few starts from the position. A little bit of a different player than Tasker, more of a midfielder than a forward, but similar speed and similar ability on the ball. As that's going to sail out of bounds.
Just to our right. Not sure if he was intending to pass it to us, but I sure hope not.
Yeah, it scared me at first before he started curving away.
Center finds Holiday.
I got hit with the ball enough when I played baseball. I didn't start commentating to be clobbered with soccer balls.
Warren to Hennessy. Hennessy's pass intercepted by Kolsar. Eichhorst with it, splitting defenders.
That was
This is
really nice little touch by Eichhorst there to take it past the first defender. Couldn't get it past the second though.
up ahead now. Jake Warren with the head of steam. Pushes up head for Colin Panara. Panara with a nice move. Whips the ball to the far side of the field. Able to run it down is Handler. Handler whips the ball, far post. Nobody really there. Tasker's going to chest it and boot it up ahead. Waiting for it is Dylan Hennessy. Nice touch. Holiday's all over him.
Nice footwork, slightly awkward pass there, but it finds Vincent. Kind of got a little too on top of that ball when he was trying to pass it, Panara and Hennessy, excuse me, and got lucky.
Evan Glass with it now. Far side just out of the reach of Tanner Jameson.
Come on.
Here comes Brandeis, whips the ball in, but it's off the foot of, I believe that was Connor Coleman. Zach Trevor looking to run it down, and he'll boot it up ahead.
Even if there weren't numbers, you could probably guess rightly that was Connor
Right.
Coleman. He's always on interceptions like that.
And that's why he's one of the captains of this team. He's making his presence felt. I believe it's him and Sterling Weatherby.
Yeah, Sterling Weatherby, only a junior, but still a leader on this team, even in only his third year. Played really well in the fullback position last year for this national championship jumbo side.
Beautiful, but Eichhorst just a little too much on it, looking for Holiday.
I think a little too much is being kind.
Easy for Woodhouse to corral, we'll say that.
Yeah. Woodhouse is kicking, as you can see there, has not been the strongest. He might be trying to deal again with the wind.
And I sure thought that was off the hand of Josh Berg, but the referee did not agree.
That's going to
Regardless,
be.
it's out of bounds for a jumbo throw.
Yeah, that could have been really either of them. I think their legs were sort of conjoined there when they struck the ball.
Eichhorst pushes up ahead. This is Tasker, unable to get there.
Yeah, really nice vision from Eichhorst. It's one of the things he has in droves. Just tried the chip, didn't really come off as he wanted, but you can see the intention there, and it's one of those things about Division 3 is sometimes touches are a little bit heavier, but all these players are extraordinarily talented nonetheless, and talented in a way that they can go to class as well.
That's right. As I believe Josh Osel just came off the field for Noah Gans. Hennessy tried to boot it up, but I believe it was out of bounds.
Yeah, that curved. Blame the wind for that one. Clearly out of bounds and then came back in.
Tasker with it. Gives up Van Brewer, puts it up in the air. Vincent able to push it up ahead. Coleman unable to get a good head on it. Trevor unable to run it down. Brandeis in control here. This is Panara, far side.
Brandeis had a position where they were 4-on-5 there, but didn't really amount to anything because they couldn't get the ball up fast enough. That's if you're trying to counter this jumbo's defense, you need to take advantage of situations like that where their defense is all the way up as that goes into the stands.
Very poor hit by Vincent.
We're going to see.
I believe he might have had a reason as there's a judge down on the far side of the field. I noticed that earlier when Brandeis was trying to get the ball out of there. He was still down, and he tripped up one of his own teammates. But He's on his feet. Looks like he'll stay in the game.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. What you don't want to see is the sort of concussions that derailed Nathan Majumder's season last year.
That was tragic.
Or really any injury, mind you. These are players that are trying to function as students as well as athletes, as I was just saying. And if you get concussed or if you strain something, that's really going to make going to your 8:30 a lot harder.
Makes everything a lot harder. It's no fun, that's for sure. Noah Gans with it now.
Brandeis getting people up. This could be promising. Or maybe, well, I guess they still have a throw in, but this is a good opportunity now for the judges. If they can't get a corner, this is the next best thing. Let's see if they try and go long with this or if they have that in their arsenal.
It's only 17 minutes remaining. The judges need to make something happen quickly.
Yeah, and they are going to go long, but let's see if they can out-muscle Jumbos.
Throw is loose. It's still loose. Kick. Josh Berg just sent it just left.
That dropped to Berg quite nicely, but he just couldn't get it in control in a position to take a shot. And in the end, when he tries it, it takes a deflection, goes out of bounds. But that's the judges' best chance of this half already. And we're still, it's been 30 minutes for them to amount to anything like that. So we're going to see a quadruple substitution here. Berg is
just making that shot's going to come off. I believe that's Evan Glass coming off as well.
It looks like Jake Warren is coming off, and so too is Colin Panara. You'd expect a lot of the starters to come back in. This looks like Osell, I think, going to take that kick. You would expect Flayhive has come back into this game.
Osell puts a far post. Jumbos get ahead on it. Tracked down by Handler. And booted out of there for a Brandeis throw.
Brandeis now with the most sustained spell of possession that they've had in well over 10 minutes in the Jumbos half. But it's all for naught if they can't parlay it into something that will equal Rojas's goal in the 52nd or so minute.
Colsar gets ahead on it, but still in danger. This is Hennessy with it, lays it off. Back to Hennessy now. It's loose, but Bruce Johnson is able.
That was almost a chance for Lynch, who had just come back into the game, but it just travels a little too far. And if the judges, Lucas, can't beat this Jumbo's defense in the air, they might be able to do so immediately after when that ball hits the ground. We've seen their best chances come on set pieces where the ball has wound up sort of in the mixer, you could say, and a judge has almost gotten his foot on it and misdirected it, but all it's going to take is one moment like that and the ball could go into the net, and that would be a welcome relief for Margolis and the rest of his judges' side.
That's right, Charlie. As the wind picks up, we've seen a lot of opportunities for fellow teammates to pick up the scraps, perhaps, but thus far nobody's been in the right place at the right time. If Brandeis is successful in that, a goal is a goal. Doesn't matter if it's from 36 yards out or if it's just a little tap in from 1 foot out. That would even the score, and that's what they're looking for right now.
There's an art to scoring ugly goals.
There is.
And that's an art that the judges.
As well.
Well, I don't know if I agree with you there, but
Trevor gets a foot on it. Brandeis looking to push now. Pass back. This is Noah Gans. Gans being harassed by Kulsar. Good ball movement. Ahead. Lynch pushes up ahead. Flayhive looking to run it down. Flayhive gets the ball in. It's close to Bruce Johnson. Tufts looking for a foul.
Yeah, that shot didn't even matter. The referee was playing advantage and had called that back already. So it was a clear foul by the judges. But here's one thing that I want to say about that move. That move was started by the number 9, Patrick Flayhive. And Lucas, you want to tell the audience where he was when he started that move?
Excuse me, Charlie?
He was on the left side. He was not even within the box, and that's not what you want your number 9 to be doing. You should be having your wide players, your Lynches getting over there and giving it into the guy who's there to score goals and who has scored 3 goals this season, rather than have him trying to get the assists.
Well, I wonder if that's also maybe him feeling a pressure to do it all right now because he's been involved in so much of their play. As Lynch might have been offsides there, he had to back off. Tasker wins it for Tufts.
Well, I'd say whatever it isn't ideal.
It's not working for him, that's for sure. Hennessy wins it in a dangerous spot. He lays it off. This is Gans. Gans goes down. And Brandeis fans here are looking for a call. Oh, and that's a big hit. Flehive a little angry there.
Yeah, that's a little much there from number 8, Hernandez.
Hernandez, not Flehive.
Yeah, Hernandez. It's fine if you shoulder into him, but you could see there was a little movement with that arm, and
The referee is going to give him a stern talking to.
yeah, I'd say a little lucky to escape without a booking there, because there was no ball in play there. That was just a little bit of
He's giving him a
yeah,
foul.
little bit of maliciousness leads to a little bit of, as you say, mustard.
And that's well deserved. First card of the game, I believe.
So that's a new one. I've not heard that one before.
From standing in the stands, you hear a lot of stuff at these soccer games.
Yeah, and some I guess we
You're not
yes.
up here, but I think that's PG enough.
Oh, back to
Booming kick.
the main course there.
Looks like freshman number 26 Calvin Arrow is checked in for Tufts.
Arrow for freshman from Glastonbury, Connecticut.
That ball goes behind the net.
Listed as a defensive back and a midfielder. We're going to see another substitution here.
I believe that's Holiday coming off, I want to say. It's Max Jacobs back on for Tufts.
Freshman, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. My roommate last year was from Cherry Hill.
Small world.
Yeah. That was one of Charlie Driver's trademark esoteric, unexciting facts.
Last push to the back. Defense trusts Woodhouse, but it winds up at the head of Trevorrow. Tasker now.
I don't know if Woodhouse should be trusting his kicks.
Brandeis needs to make something happen quick.
Yeah, 11 minutes to go now. It's getting to crunch time.
Vincent pushes it upfield. Nahar is waiting for that ball to come right to him. Play high, plays it off. This is Osel. Osel looking to push towards the center, and it's intercepted by Arrow. Lays it off, and now Tufts is looking to run. Up ahead, Jacobs. Jacobs lays it off to the left. Back towards the center, back to Jacobs. Jacobs stops on it. Could not get it around on that, and it's intercepted by Brandeis. Gans pushes it up ahead. Osel. Vincent.
That ball's got to go forward. It's 10 minutes left now. Got to be more proactive.
Vincent finds Hennessy. Hennessy tried to get it past Tasker, but Tasker is right there. Up ahead now, Eichhorst. Eichhorst, Jacobs was not ready for that ball. Hennessy. Plays it back. Brandeis up ahead, this is Lynch. Lynch being harassed by Weatherby. Weatherby with a little bit of a push. No call, and Weatherby's going to kick it out. I believe that's going to go for a throw, not a corner.
Yeah, nice job there by the Jumbos defense. I think that was Sterling Weatherby covering there. Make sure to put that out for a throw-in rather than a corner, and we're going to see another long throw-in for the judges, even though not a lot of touchline here to take advantage of that.
Osel. It's still loose, headed out by Tufts along the far side, being chased down by Handler. And that's going to go out for yet another Brandeis throw. Under 10 minutes left to play in this game. In regulation, I should say. The Jumbos have had a knack for going into overtime. I'm sure they do not want that to be the case today.
It's going to be very demoralizing if they do.
Coleman gets ahead on it. Still
good.
Brandeis whips the ball in. Johnson's out of position, but he's able to get up, and he finally corrals it. That ball was loose.
the daring of the goalkeeper at play there, because Bruce Johnson was amidst a sea of feet as he dived in to get that ball, and he had to, and it was a vital stop, but really, really good play and brave play from Bruce Johnson, who's shown no fear in getting into areas with a lot of people to either punch it out or dive on a ball.
I believe Mike Lynch was on the ground, but again, we go back to the scraps for the teammates to pick up on, and unfortunately for Lynch and the rest of the judges, that opportunity just wasn't there for him.
But it is the most likely they've looked to score from those situations, and so they're just going to have to keep pumping it into the box.
Tufts look to make something of that opportunity there, but it's intercepted by Brandeis. Up ahead, not sure who that pass was intended for, but Coleman gets ahead on it.
It was because they couldn't find anyone to build the house. Like, they didn't have people to live in the house.
Woodhouse comes out. He's going to let that one fall at his feet and pick it up.
Substitutions for both teams.
It's like Zach Lane and Brett Rojas back in for the Jumbos.
We're going to see Colin Panara come in as Hennessy exits the game.
Trevor and Tasker off for Tufts.
Who?
I believe I saw Glass and Hennessy perhaps come off for the judges.
Yeah, I'm not sure who replaced Glass, but Panara is going to take over for Hennessy.
Tasker pushing ahead for Rojas. Rojas with it. Stops on it. Good interception by Brandeis.
Yeah, footwork didn't come off like it has earlier there. He showed some nice effort in the build-up to the goal, and he has the talent, but nice defense by the judges midfield.
Handler and Vincent playing a nice little game of 2-on-2. And Rojas able to push that one out. Vincent to take the throw.
Yeah, 2-on-2 isn't fair once the third person comes into play.
There you go. Good job by Tyler Colstar to force his man out of bounds.
Yeah, and Berg, it seems, was the other change for the judges there, and we'll see a Tufts change now.
Okay, that's Joe Braun going to come in for Max Jacobs. Quite the height difference there.
Quite the height difference and quite the experience difference.
There you go.
There's Joseph Braun, the sophomore, has played games, been in these situations for the Jumbos. A nice long throw from Sterling Weatherby that finds him, although he can't necessarily control it.
Brandeis in a bit of desperation mode now. Lynch with the ball far side now.
It's a nice ball there to find Handler.
Handler makes a move on his man. Another move, but a good interception there by Tufts. Rojas pushing up ahead now. Tasker looking for a teammate, but too much on that ball. It's going to find the feet.
Yeah, that would have been a better idea to switch the play there than try and go for the through ball.
Weatherby had that kick measured all the way. Still in the air. Coleman gets ahead on it. It's going to fall. And Lynch will put it back up in the air. Zach Lane with the kick. Right to Joe Braun. And this is Tasker. Tasker looking for help. Try to get by his man, but can't.
Yeah, his opposite number there, Berg, is just going to go to ground and stick his foot in and get the ball. Really nice defense there from the judges' defenseman. So we're into 5 minutes left. Judges are going to have to do something different.
Perhaps Tufts hasn't been pushing as much as they were earlier, but despite their 1-goal advantage, they're still looking for another one. They clearly do not feel comfortable with just a 1-goal lead. Obviously, they want to be somewhat conservative, but if they could get another goal, that'd be ideal.
I don't think they're actively uncomfortable. They've been fairly in control since that goal, but you're always on an insurance policy.
Booted up ahead, it's going to stay in play. Rojas boots up ahead. Braun trying to run it down, but it's going to find the feet of Vincent.
I didn't used to like the garage.
Back to Vincent.
It's kind of it's not like the most fun thing, but like as like a upper
looking for Hennessy. Excuse me, that's Lynch. Lynch gets it back. Now this is Hennessy. Hennessy intercepted by Sterling Weatherby. Keep it in for the time being. Slide tackle. It's going to force that ball out of bounds.
It was a nice idea by the judges. Overloading that left side really gave them the numbers that they needed to complete some passes, but in the end it just got away from them, and Weatherby did a really nice job there of keeping possession and forcing Lynch into giving it over to Bruce Johnson with a goal kick.
They're running out of time here.
Yeah, and he's just going to boot this away from the goal as far as possible.
Ahead. Rojas gets a cleat on it. Lane.
Nice vision from Lane there.
Tasker. Tasker showing the skills.
Tasker showed the skills there, but it was Panara showing the speed, just outrunning him and getting that out of bounds.
First problem is nobody knew anything.
3 minutes now.
Tufts will take their time with this throw-in. Of course, in Division 3 soccer, there is no added time. You play to the whistle, and that's it.
Yeah, Jumbos are just going to try and keep this in the corner. That's going to go out for a throw, though, for the judges. Or a free kick, excuse me. Yeah, no, it is a throw-in. Not sure.
Trust your gut.
Little confusion. Saw the little over-the-head move.
Arrow gets ahead on it.
And if the Jumbos keep it in the judges' half, there's nothing that can be done.
Rojas whips one in. Oh, a beautiful shot by Rojas.
Oh, that was just as good a save from Woodhouse as we see a follow-up effort go wide from Braun. But Woodhouse there just sticks out his palm, adjusts his body, and parries it away. And that could have been a huge moment in the game.
Beautiful effort by Rojas and a beautiful effort by Woodhouse.
That would have been a nail in the coffin there for the Jumbos and final decision against the judges. But right now, jury's still in deliberation as to how this game will wind up.
Weatherby gets ahead on it before Hennessy can get there, and this is Tasker. Vincent gets a boot on it. Kolsar puts it up in the air. Off his shoulder. Hernandez up ahead to nobody but Nahar. Lynch is able to win that ball.
Strange choice there by Nadger, not clearing that.
Weatherby doing a good job to at least push it to the far side to keep it out of danger for the time being. Tasker running the wrong way with it, but he gets it out to Weatherby, and Weatherby will boot it up ahead. Braun is offsides, and he knows it.
And the Jumbos are going to love seeing that ball roll down there because that's going to take precious seconds.
Under 90 seconds left to play in this one in regulation.
Here's DiPietro. I wonder where this is going, Lucas.
Well, they need to do something with it, so I think we know what DiPieto's thinking. It's a low shot.
I didn't know where it was going.
And here comes Tasker, a little 2-on-1 for the Jumbos, perhaps. Tasker with it.
Yeah, we got a 3-on-1 now.
Coming out of his net.
Oh, it's nice sweeping play by Woodhouse. He had the vision to see that he was the only one standing between the Jumbos and a win.
Sprint back there as Lane was able to get to it, but Brandeis is going to push it up head. Coleman's got it, and Coleman's just going to boot it in the air.
Yeah, 38 seconds here, and
into a tree. I think that might have knocked a branch off, but sure, Coleman is fine with that. And the clock will stop now.
Yeah, it's an injury, so it's one of those times where you can stop it, and that'll the injury is unfortunate, obviously, but also will give the judges team a little time to strategize. You have about one more chance here.
Yeah, that's right. I can't quite make out who that is, but he is on his back moving around.
We're going to have 38 seconds on the clock, so they're going to add 4.5 seconds. And it looks like they're going to sub the player out since he's out of bounds. Apologies, we don't know who it is, and we hope he's okay. Meanwhile, we're going to restart with a throw here, and this is just going to go straight into the penalty box. Or rather short.
Tufts just looking to win the ball and keep possession. Osell up ahead now. Handler. Vincent into the box. That's going to find a jumbo head. Nice play by Braun to get in front of his defender, but Vincent has it. Up ahead, Weatherby's going to try and track that down.
Yeah, 15 seconds, and he's just going to kick this out of here.
Great play by Weatherby. 10 seconds left. Braun is chasing it down, and we have...
It looked like a handball, I think, against Braun.
2 seconds left, and that is going to do it. The Jumbos won a thrilling game against nationally ranked Brandeis, 1-0, thanks to a Brett Rojas goal, and that was the only scoring that they needed.
And the Jumbos looked like they would win this game and that they deserved to win this game. The judges were unable to create more than one or two clear-cut chances, most of their chances came in the first half. The Jumbos shut it down, continue a dominant defensive streak, still yet to allow a goal this season, and they're, I bet, moving up in the rankings next time it comes out. You want to give us the upcoming games?
Sure. Up next for the Jumbos is going to be September 26th, the Tuesday. They're going to be at Wesleyan. That's a 7:30 p.m. start. And then for the judges, they're also going to be playing on the 26th at Wheaton at 4 p.m.
So they get the rest of the weekend off to catch up a bit on schoolwork and dwell on what's happened here at Bellow Field on a pretty cold and windy, but
no rain,
dry Friday night.
In front of a fantastic crowd, may we add. They had a nice turnout for this Friday Night Lights game. So that's the final score from Bellow Field, 1-0 Jumbos, courtesy of a Brett Rojas goal. For Charlie Driver, my name is Lucas Johnson. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good night.